The next day we drove our scooter around to the eastern side of Koh Chang. At first we stopped at a viewpoint over White Sand Beach.
White Sand Beach.
The view from up here is fantastic, but this year we saw no monkeys here. Just the two of us with funny looking helmets.
Koh Chang. White Sand Beach.
We then passed a ferry port on the northern side of the island and had a short stop to watch the ferry from the mainland docking. The eastern side of the island has almost no beaches. It is visited by less tourists and has very few resorts. Once again we visited the Tan Bayom Pier that sticks a few hundred meters out in the water.
Sambon. Und auf der anderen Seite steht Willkommen nach Koh Chang.
There was a no entry sign at the entrance of the pier with a Savadi welcome to Koh Chang on the other side of the sign, so I took a chance and went out on the pier. The last time we were here in January 2019, the Koh Chang Marine Fisheries Protection and Suppression Unit had mercilessly confiscated and sunk several foreign trawlers. I think they were Cambodian. The offices of this unit lie close to the pier. This year little was left of the trawlers, just some driftwood at the shoreline, although I also saw a few of the wrecks stranded a bit further away, but I was unsure if they were the sunken wrecks from 2019. We traveled further south on the eastern side to the fishing village Salak Kok. Views don't get much nicer than those over Salak Kok Bay, here in the southeast of Koh Chang. The bay itself is very well sheltered, as the outlet to the sea is only about 100 meters wide. The east coast rarely sees any of the winds that batter the west coast during the rainy season. We visited this village also back in 2019 to get a glimpse of traditional fishing community. Despite the amazing views across the bay to the mangroves and jungle-covered mountains, there aren't any real signs of tourism here. It is an area that hasn't changed much since we first visited in 2019. The village bore the mark of poverty. Back then the locals lived in ramshackle homes, but now there have been some renovation of houses. In 2019 the houses were built from what nature could provide, from untreated materials. Now the walls have been renovated and painted. large areas of mangrove forest here. We followed a walkway along the canal inside the mangrove forest. Here, close to Salak Kok seafood restaurant, you can rent a canoe and paddle yourself, following numbered markers through the canals in the mangroves and out into the bay. Centered on a wooden walkway hidden in the mangroves, the village comprises traditional houses built on stilts, with the owners' fishing boats moored up outside the front entrances. Pretty much undisturbed by tourism, and a sense that it will stay that way, the local community is tight-knit and wary of outsiders, quietly going about their businesses, more than a tad disinterested in the life outside in the rest of the island. It is also possible to take a boat trip with your own rower, 200 Thai baht per person for a trip of 40 minutes. There were lots of boats coming in when we were there, and people seemed to enjoy the moment of tranquility, slowly gliding along the mangroves in these slim, almost gondola-like boats. They were well protected against the sun with a large parasol in the middle of the boat. After a whole day on the eastern side, we drove back just before sunset and went to the beach outside the resort where we had breakfast early this morning. Time just to relax and enjoy the sunset and do some video footage, among others a time-lapse of the sun going down into the ocean far out on the horizon. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of our island hopping tour in Thailand. It was time for us to leave Koh Chang and travel by bus to Bangkok and then to Hua Hin, Koh Tao and Koh Phangan. More videos from there will come soon.